Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Alyssa and I build Lego sets. So every week on my Instagram story I post polls and let you guys vote on which Lego set I'll be building next. So last week's I made this one. It is the Wolverine's claws. It turned out pretty cool. So this week the battle was between Captain Rex and Darth Vader, and by far Darth Vader won, so we're gonna do that one. So a little bit about this set. So this is set number 75304. This set has 834 pieces. And it came out in April of 2021, so it's a couple years old. The set also has 5 parts in it, and with it being a little bit larger of a set, I decided I'm gonna make this set into 2 different videos. So the first part, I'm gonna talk more about Anakin and his life, and then the next video, part 2, I'll talk more about after he turns into Darth Vader and on. So we'll see how this goes. I'm not sure how long these are gonna be. So Anakin was first discovered on Tatooine by Qui-Gon Jinn. He was so cute when he was just a little kid. He was born without a dad, as we know. Him and his mom, they're both slaves. Anakin's super good with making things like droids and electronic things like that, I guess you want to say. He does the whole pod racing and made his own little pod racer, and is the only human that is able to race in those because he has his Jedi instincts. He's the only human capable of racing in them because of that. When he wins the pod racing, Anakin was able to become free. Wasn't able to free his mom though, unfortunately. So he leaves with Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon believes that he is the chosen one, you know. He wants to bring them back to the council. And hopefully train him as a Jedi. When Anakin was still a slave, that's also when he makes C-3PO, which I think that's really cool. He came all the way from when he was little, when he was a kid. Anakin wasn't able to grant his mom's freedom, so she of course has to stay behind, stay as a slave, and hope to see her one day again. When Anakin is brought in front of the council is very, very hesitant to give Qui-Gon Jinn permission to train Anakin as a Jedi. Because he is so young, he's been influenced by other things in his life, and which makes sense, I guess. In the end, they decide to train Anakin as a Jedi. Anakin was thought to be the chosen one and to bring balance to the Force. A little later, Qui-Gon Jinn gets killed by Darth Maul. So Obi-Wan is the one that ends up training Anakin. Obi-Wan is definitely one of my favorite characters. So yeah, for movies number 2 and then majority of number 3, Anakin and Obi-Wan are fighting alongside together. When Qui-Gon Jinn found Anakin on Tatooine, that's also when Anakin met Padme. Start off with a little crush with her. And of course on Naboo, when Anakin had to protect Padme, he fell for her even more. And I believe that's also at the same time when he was getting those nightmares about his mom and her dying. So something I learned that was a deleted scene. So Palpatine had Count Dooku go to the Tusken Raiders and convince them to kidnap Anakin's mom. And then Palpatine put those nightmares in Anakin's head, which caused him to go and try to save her. And then when Anakin got to Tatooine, of course he found out that his mom was now married and no longer a slave. And also found out that his nightmare had come true as well. That she had been captured. And of course he goes and tries to save her. And when he gets there, he's too late because she had just died. And that's when Anakin kills all of those Tusken Raiders, and that's really like a big turning point for him because that's when he really starts to struggle with like the darkness and the dark side, I guess. It was Palpatine's plan all along, and Palpatine is the one that always put those nightmares in his head. And also the reason why his mom died and was kidnapped and everything like that. So I thought that was very interesting. I did not know that. So like I said, Anakin and Obi-Wan fight alongside for the rest of the second movie and part of the third movie, and then also in the Clone Wars as well, which I have kind of just started. I'm still on season 1. But you know, while watching the Clone Wars, you also find out that Anakin has a Padawan, and her name is Ahsoka. I love Ahsoka. I really wish, I mean, I know why they didn't, but I really wish that they would have shown her more like in the movies. So I think that would have been really cool to see that like he had a Padawan and all that. And at the bottom so far. So like I said, I mentioned a little bit about Padme already. Anakin and Padme met when he was a kid with Qui-Gon Jinn in the first movie, and then the second movie, I believe Anakin had to protect her, and they went to Naboo. Anakin was already so much in love with her. Padme is a politician. She's in politics, I guess. And they were forbidden to be together. You know, Jedis aren't supposed to have any ties to anyone else, I guess. And then continuing, so also in the movie number 2, Anakin and Padme go to try and save Obi-Wan. And then they end up getting captured anyways, and that's when Padme finally decides to be with Anakin, and they have to keep it a secret, of course. It's so sad. Later on, they end up getting married secretly, and instead of exchanging wedding rings, they trade droids. The whole first part of the series, Padme has R2-D2 and Anakin has C-3PO, and then after they get married, C-3PO is always with Padme, and R2-D2 is always with Anakin, which I thought was really cool. And of course, in the beginning of episode 3, Padme ends up being pregnant, and she's so excited, and Anakin looks so scared. And of course, they have to protect their secret even more now, since she's pregnant. And you know, the more time that goes on, the more Anakin does as a Jedi, and like he accomplishes so much more and gets better at being a Jedi, I guess. And you know, as time goes on, Anakin really wants to be a master, and the council does not want to grant him that honor, I guess. The council is very, like, weak, I guess you want to say, during that time. Like, if you think about it, Jedis have been around for thousands and thousands of years, and the council and everything like that. But with this council, they couldn't even sense that there was a Sith right under their noses the entire time. You know, Anakin does all this for them, and they still feel like he's not ready to be a Jedi, which, I mean, if they were right, but instead of granting him that honor, they secretly ask him to spy on Palpatine instead. And of course, you know, Palpatine figured that out right away, and And then Anakin starts having those dreams, bad dreams again. Of course, Palpatine is putting them in his head that Padme is gonna die from childbirth, and he's so afraid of that coming true because the nightmare he had about his mom came true. Of course, that was also Palpatine putting that in his head. You know, as Anakin is getting these nightmares and getting more scared and more scared of his wife dying, you know, Palpatine knows about all this, obviously, and starts talking to Anakin about the dark side and all of that it can do. But initially, his fear of losing Padme is what convinces him to join the dark side, because he believes that's the only hope to save her. we're done with part 2. Getting a little farther. Got about the bottom half of his face and a little bit of his eyes, it looks like. Alright, we're on to part 3. I think we'll just do a little bit of this part since there's 5 parts altogether. So, let's see, we ended off, Palpatine would talk to Anakin about the dark side. So, when the council finally figured out that it was Palpatine that was the Sith Lord, I don't remember his name. I want to say it's like Mace Windu or something like that. I can't remember his name. But he tries to kill Palpatine. Anakin is there and ends up saving Palpatine. He joins Palpatine and officially is part of the dark side to hopefully try and do anything to save Padme. You know, he kills the younglings, he does a bunch of different things after that. But like the most heartbreaking part of it all is when he goes to fight Obi-Wan and Padme's there, and you know, Anakin was his brother. He was supposed to be the chosen one. He was supposed to save us from the dark side and from the Sith, not join them. Now Obi-Wan ends up winning, and Anakin lost both of his legs. Palpatine later on finds him, but at that point it is the fall of the Jedi and Council and everything like that. You know, Padme goes on to have their kids, who they find out they had twins. And after childbirth, Padme basically dies from a broken heart. And in the end, nothing Anakin did actually helped her and saved her in any way. Well, with that, I think we're gonna end here. So this is how far we've gotten. We're about a little bit into part 3. I'll continue on in my next video next week. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys next week and continue this one.